So the electric bike revolution has been really exciting, but we're nowhere near peak electric bike yet, which is why the 5 bikes behind me, which are my top 5 electric bikes, are all incredibly different. As you'll see throughout this video, each one has very different capabilities and features, but rather than just ranking these 1 through 5, everybody has different needs. So I'm gonna break them down by category. So the 5 categories we're talking about in this video are the best folding electric bike, the best budget electric bike, the best commuter electric bike, the best looking electric bike slash most durable as well, and of course the best overall. But along the way, I'll talk about how each of these can do different things, not just be the best commuter, not just be the best folding bike, but also these could be the best under 1,000, they could be the best fat tire bike, they could be the best for workouts. These all do a lot, even though those are the 5 categories I chose for this video. So starting off with the first one on this list, the best folding electric bike is none other than the Lectric XP 3.0. This bike is an absolute beast at a very affordable price as well. So even though we're calling this the best folding electric bike, I would like to also give it best under $1,000. This is selling for $999, and this bike, what you're getting out of that is absolutely incredible. Going from front to back, this is a fat tire electric bike, so this is 20-inch by 3-inch tires. Of course, this does fold down, so the handlebars fold down, the entire thing folds in half, and you can fit this in the backseat of an SUV, the backseat of a truck, you can really fit this in a lot of places, even in a smaller closet in your house. Of course, this is a Class 3 electric bike. For those of you who don't know what that means, it means you can pedal up to 28 miles per hour, or just use the throttle if you don't feel like pedaling, and still go 20 miles per hour. Now, they do have different ranges, of course, depending on what pedal assist level you have. There are 5 different levels, and the ranges are published on their website based on real-world testing. I really respect that Lectric does that. This also has 7 different gears, so pedaling up hills is an absolute breeze, even if you don't have the pedal assist on. And of course, moving back, we have the seat is very wide and extremely comfortable. The rack behind that, I think Lectric really thought of everything when designing this bike. The rack on the back supports up to 150 pounds, which means not only could he fit a lot of cargo there or a child seat, but he could also mount a bench on the back and have a passenger riding, which of course they already baked into here. And there is a passenger mode, which allows you to go a slower speed, which is more comfortable for the rider on the back. In addition to that, there are a lot of accessories that Lectric sells. For example, behind the seat here, I have a little lock hidden down there. So when I park this bike, I can take it out and lock it through this loop, which they made conveniently for locking as well as for a handle. Overall, just a really well-designed bike with a great range, very comfortable ride. And because of the fat tire, going on stones or grass or anything that's not super smooth is also very comfortable. So that's the Lectric XP 3.0. Next up, we have the second folding bike of this video. This little guy is the GoTrax EBE1, which despite its small size, actually works for larger riders as well. I'm a tall person, and I'm able to ride this bike fairly comfortably thanks to the adjustable seat and the adjustable handlebars, which come way up and make the bike look absolutely hilarious. Now, this is also a very different bike from the other ones in this video in that it doesn't have any kind of pedal assistance. Instead, it has a pedal with a single speed, or it has a motor on the back, and you can choose to use both at the same time, or just pedal, or just use the throttle. No matter what you do, this really only goes up to about 15.5 miles per hour. But given that this is the best budget electric bike, it's selling for $599, which you're not going to find any other electric bikes really anywhere near that price. So looking at this electric bike, it also folds down to a really compact size. It weighs 56 pounds, and even considering that, it still has rear suspension. It does have headlights, and it actually has keys as well in case you're worried about your kids riding your bike when you don't let them. Next up, we have the best affordable commuter bike, which is the Velotric Discover 1. As you can see right here, this is actually really heavy, so I'm going to set it down. And this one, just a solid electric bike across the board. I really like how it looks. It's a Class 2 e-bike, which means you can pedal or use the throttle up to 20 miles per hour. And of course, it comes in 2 different sizes. There is the step through or the high step model. The high step's meant for taller riders, which is why I chose that. And there are 5 different colors available. I thought the yellow looked really unique, so that's why I went with that one. But going from front to back, I really like the way the tires look, kind of just a unique appearance to this, a little bit more like a beach cruiser kind of. We have a headlight on the front. We have our display here, which of course tells us our range, our speed, and everything like that. This is a 7-speed Shimano shifter, And of course, we do have a throttle next to that. So like I said, you could use throttle only. The battery is removable, which makes it really convenient for a commuter electric bike. So you could park this and lock it outside at your job and then bring the battery in and charge it under your desk. So you're good to go for a long commute home. Of course, on the back, we have a tail light as well, and we have fenders on the front and back. So if you're riding when it's dark or if it's muddy, you don't have to worry about getting splashed, and you don't have to worry about being seen or seeing where you're going. Overall, it is a solid electric bike, and at the time of making this video, it's selling for $1,199, so just under $1,200, which is a pretty good deal considering what you're getting out of this bike. And then, of course, the best looking e-bike, an absolute beast, the most durable, solid frame bike. This one is the iconic Super 73. Now, Super 73, in my opinion, is sort of the bike that started the whole e-bike revolution because they look really cool. It looks like a cafe racer, kind of like a motorcycle. And so people wanted to buy this and ride it around just because of how incredible it looked. Now, this bike has a lot to it as well. So this goes not just class 3, so it's class 1, 2, or 3 on the controls, but you can also go up to an off-road mode if you go up to level 4, which means that you're able to go even faster than 28 miles per hour using only the throttle. This is able to pedal and use a pedal assist, but really you can use a throttle on any one of them. I find that that is a really easy way to ride around. It doesn't have different gears, so the pedaling is really more of a backup, in my opinion, in case the battery dies. And so you can ride this around. It feels a lot more like an electric moped, super solid. The battery is removable as well. It's comfortable for one rider. It's only really meant for one rider, but the seat goes back a little bit if you needed a second rider on there. We've got a huge headlight on the front, does a great job of, really illuminating everywhere you're going, and we have taillights as well. This is also the fattest tire out of all the bikes in this video. And so this bike right here is super comfortable on any kind of like stone path, on any kind of little bumpy roads, or even if you're going through the grass or anything a little bit more of a rougher terrain, it's a really comfortable ride. We've got suspension on the front and on the back. So once again, super, super comfortable ride. This is the Super 73R, the Brooklyn model. And like I said, it looks really nice. There's so many different Super 73 models that if you have the budget for one, I highly recommend looking into them. Definitely a fantastic looking bike. But keep in mind, I sort of consider this bike to be a bit of a class of its own. So it's really different from the other ones in a lot of ways. For example, it only has one gear with the pedals. So going up hills if the battery dies, a little bit trickier. And of course, it doesn't have fenders on the front or the rear. You could buy those if you wanted to, but you might get splashed as it is right now. But that's a Super 73R, fantastic bike and so fun to ride. And then we have the best overall, my favorite electric bike by far. I absolutely love this bike, and I'll explain why in a second. This is the Aventon Level 2. I like it so much, I actually made an entire video just dedicated to this bike. Talked a lot about what it can do, my testing and everything like that. So after this video, if you're interested in this bike, be sure to check out that video. But overall, this is just such a nice electric bike, a very pleasant ride, high quality materials, and really well built as well. It feels solid when you're riding it. You've got wide handlebars with a really nice grip on there as well, so it's very comfortable there. The seat's very comfortable. The rack on the back holds up to 50 pounds. We've got a nice wide handlebar with really nice grips on there and really high quality brakes as well. We've got an LCD display on the front and very easy and intuitive controls on the left thumb pad. We have a headlight on here, we have a tail light, and we have some really nice tail lights integrated into the frame, which I think not only look really cool, but are also very functional and can keep you a lot safer. This is a class 3 electric bike, so going up to 28 miles per hour when you pedal and 20 miles per hour if you just use the throttle. And the range on here is also phenomenal, but I'll explain why that is right now. Instead of using your traditional cadence sensor, which most electric bikes do use, which basically says, if you're pedaling, turn on the motor. This says how hard are you pedaling and then turn on the motor based on how hard you're pedaling. So rather than feeling like you just pedal once and go for a ride, this one really feels a lot more like you're doing all the work, even though you're not. It feels like you are Lance Armstrong with massive quads, able to crush any hill and go really fast. And like, first of all, it's kind of an ego boost. Like, it feels really nice to ride it. Second of all, you get way better range out of that. This is claimed up to 65 miles, but honestly, I've gone even further than that on a single charge. And third of all, if you want to get a workout on here, you can dial it back to a lower assistance level and still get a really solid workout with this bike. Okay, so when I filmed this video, it was pretty cold outside. I guess I forgot to film an outro, but those are my picks for the top 5 best electric bikes. Of course, there are so many other ones. Leave a comment below and let me know which ones you like best. On top of that, I do have a full video about the top electric scooters. That should definitely be the next one to watch. I love electric scooters. And if you made it this far in this video, hopefully that means you enjoyed it. And if you did, consider liking and do click that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm Mike O'Brien, and I'll see you in the next one.